Guys, look. Look. You're asking, where am I? Right? If you're asking, where am I? You should be. Okay? Because what it is I've moved, man. I've moved. Okay? And right now, this is like my kitchen eating area. It's not going to be here. By tomorrow, I should be a little bit better set up. Okay? But for now, let's get to one of these. And make sure to bring this still. We still got this going on here. So this one's for Mr. Kevin. All right. How you guys doing tonight? City Boy Falcon in the house. AM's going down. You know he's here. Right? Gen Z, nice. Maybe you guys will hear Mrs. trubeleafer kicking around in the background somewhere. Okay. We got things to do. We're switching houses right now. Okay. So straight up, we kind of have both going right now. We're just moving everything over the next couple of days. So like I said, by tomorrow I should have a little bit better of a setup. But for now, there will be no video game stuff afterwards today too, okay? I gotta just do this game stuff and then off we go, okay? So yeah, I know the lens is like we're super wide or whatever else is going on. I don't even know what's happening, but forget it. Don't get used to this setup either, all right? All right, so I gotta ask you guys, okay? I didn't get to see much of that game. Like I said, the only parts I saw, the Leafs were never scoring, and Calgary wasn't scoring when I saw. You know, I kept trying to look up while I'm getting everything set up here. And but I want to play a little game first, okay? Before we get into you guys telling me what's going on. I want to play a little game. I'm going to look at the stats, okay? I'm going to look at the game stats, and I want you to tell me if, while I look at the stats, if I have a good understanding of what happened here, okay? Sometimes the stats tell a great story. Sometimes they're completely off base. All right, Mrs. trubeleafer's leaving right there, okay? Looking good. All right, so let me look at the stats for the game, okay? And let me see if I can figure out what happened here, okay? Okay, so I can see the game time, or the goal times and everything like that as well, too. Okay, so right off the bat, we're seeing early goals, minute 19 for Calgary's first goal. All right, so followed up by another one a few minutes after that, not that long, right? So that's not an analysis yet. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. All right. And then if I come down here to stats, pretty much tied for face-offs. Okay. Power plays. Toronto had a bunch. Hits, pretty much even. Shots. Shots were 27-18 for Toronto. Okay. All right. And what else am I missing here? I don't think there's anything else that I really need to see beyond that. Okay. So if I were to look at this, I would say Calgary got a couple of early goals, okay? And the Leafs started chasing the game, right? And the Leafs started chasing the game, which means not as much defense and lots of offense, lots of offensive opportunities. They didn't seem to connect on the power play at all, which is just great. And you know, they couldn't seal the deal when you know, from trying to catch up. They're always having to catch up in the game. It looked like every time that Toronto scored a goal or two, it looked like Calgary got another one after that, right? So the Leafs never got to pull out ahead. They never got to feel dominant. They never got to feel in charge. And when the Leafs, especially these young guys, don't feel in charge, okay, they panic. And when they panic, they do dumb things, all right? A lot of goals on Freddie there. I don't know what to say. Again, I didn't see them. I don't know what's going on. It's getting hard for me to justify sticking up for the guy. You know, you need some actual stats to go your way. Sometimes there's no way it's just going to keep being the team's fault in front of them. But at the same time, maybe it was. I don't know. So that's where I think, based on the stats alone, what I think happened in the game. Okay. Now I want to see what you guys are saying, because I'm going to need your help on this one. Like I said, all right. I missed it. I'm changing. I'm moving, guys. I'm moving. So. Ghost Gaming, you're saying, when am I playing with Pilsy again for the gaming stuff? Oh man, we'll do that very next gaming show if you want. I'm always down for the challenge, right? I'm always willing to stick it to Pilsy if I have to, right? Is the music too loud or something, guys? Here, let me turn this down a little bit. Let me turn this down a little bit. Is that good? The whole opening part is probably ruined now from loud music. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But yeah, so I'm down. Just let them know. Let them know. Oh, we got producer Aaron in the house, right? This is Wicked. trubeleafer bought a new house from his Twitch account. I love it. No. No. No, this was actually purchased right after we started Twitch, basically. So I didn't even have a chance to, you know, build up anything on that yet. But where are we at here with this? I think Sheldon's fault. He should have started Campbell. Okay, do we really think Campbell's that good, though? Like, why are we so quick to be like, put Campbell in it, put Campbell in it? Do we even know? Do we even know? Or are we just saying that anything is better than Freddie at this point? Is that what you guys are saying? Like, think about what you're saying here, right? I'm not saying you're wrong, and it certainly could work out in our favor. But what are you gonna do if Campbell goes in for the game tomorrow and stinks up the joint? What are you gonna do? Okay? You know what I mean? Are you gonna chalk it up to one bad game? Or are you immediately gonna be like, now we need to find another goalie? You know? Well, you can't keep burning through bad goalies when you're playing badly in front of them. That's all I'm saying. I mean, with another night with a lot of goals against Freddie, I mean, I don't know. Again, maybe he does need help. Maybe, you know, he needs to get his game in order. I don't know. Producer Aaron saying Hyman shouldn't be on the third line. I didn't even realize he was on the third line. So, yeah, like, get him up there, man. Come on. That guy, okay, Zach Hyman is basically Chris Kunitz. Remember him? Does he still play? I don't know, okay? Chris Kunitz always got tons of flack for, like, why? Why is he always on the top line with Crosby? Can't we get someone better out there with him? And then even in Team Canada, right? Kunitz made the team, and what happened? Crosby said, I want him. He's my guy. I need him out there. You know, and why? Because he knows how to get Crosby the puck. He knows how to dig deep. He knows how to find the tough battles. He knows how to come out with the puck, make the nice plays. And I think Hyman is that too. So to put him on the third line, that seems ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because, like, he needs to be out there with the top guys so that the top guys have a chance to actually score some goals. But I don't know, right? Again, I missed most of that, so I'm coming to you guys right now. And you're all going to make the YouTube channel right now. Let me tell you that, okay? Because it's going to be your breakdown of what happened that makes the YouTube channel, not mine. I don't have one right now. I'm just trying to be honest. I could sit here and lie and act like I saw the game and come up with some BS analysis, but you know what? Life, man, life is real, and sometimes life gets in the way. Today, you know, I had to move, okay? Today I had to move. So I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm looking at you guys right now. AM, you're saying, but this has been a pattern since you've been born. Come on now, you know what I mean? Like, you can't... I know it looks familiar, guys. I know it looks familiar as Leafs fans, but you know what? When you lose, losing looks familiar, okay? There's a reason why losing looks familiar, okay? Because it happens the same on every team. Doesn't matter if it's the Leafs, doesn't matter if it's someone else. Losing always looks the same. So when you go through losing stretches like this, right? Doesn't matter if you're a Leafs fan, Boston fan, doesn't matter, right? Your team's going to look the same as every other time they lost because losing looks the same, all right? So I hear you. It's frustrating as a Leafs fan. I told you guys that this was going to be an important game. I said that if they don't come out strong against Calgary for these next two games, they got to at least win tomorrow. They got to. They got to, because if they don't and they have to sit out another 4 days knowing that they're on a losing streak, my goodness, watch. It's going to get way worse. It's going to get way worse. So certainly they have to figure it out before the game tomorrow, right? Thievis, you're in the house. You're saying Freddie is just you're just the weakest. Let's in the weakest stuff. I got to see it. I got to see it. Were there tips in front? Were there screens in front? I mean, you tell me. Was the defense clearing guys out like I keep saying they should, or did they just stand around like pylons again? Be real with me. Be real with me, okay? Really look at the defense that was happening tonight, okay? Were they pylons, or were they actually mucking it up and getting guys out of the net? You know? And now I know other goalies have to deal with screens too, and they don't seem to let in as many goals, so there's a bit of that, I'm sure. 3 goals were from the blue line. Okay, yeah, okay, Mr. Kev. So, like, was that clear shots? Again, I did not see them. Were they clear shots from the blue line? Was there a lane for them to shoot it through? Or was there screens? Were there screens? I gotta know, right? Let me know. Yeah, Snack, new filming location. This is temporary. Tomorrow should be a little bit more permanent. I've moved houses, so I didn't want to let you guys down after a post-game talk here. So I'm trying to do my best in the kitchen here. All right, just to keep it going. Jason, hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you. You say Freddie's terrible. Is he though? Is he? I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly don't know anymore. I don't know. Because at some point, you know, it's a cliche to say, and I'm late to the game saying it, but at some point, Freddie's got to get some saves that are unlikely, right? They can't always just be perfect saves. Sometimes he's got to struggle and battle and find a way to keep the puck out of the net. I didn't see the goalies. I didn't see the goals tonight. I missed all 7 of them. All 7. And I watched a good half of the game. Not even at once. Throughout the game, I would come over, check it out, set up, do other things, help move, everything like that. So, I mean, help me out, man. I got to know what happened, all right? The most games played, your stats will be different. is what AM's saying. So I guess you're saying it's affecting his stats because he's got more games played than other goalies, perhaps. Sorry, I'm kind of trying to scroll through this here. Gotta have it on the radio next time, trubeleafer, if you can't watch. No, I had it on, in the background, but I can't tell what's going on. You know what I mean? I can't tell what's going on. Every time I looked at the replays were already done and everything like that, I missed everything, man. And I had an interview with the local hockey organization. I'm trying to be a coach, so they might need a rep coach this year, and I'm in talks with that. Probably won't happen. Probably won't happen, guys, but you know what I mean? I had that interview halfway through the game. I was sitting down with them via webcam. It's pretty crazy, right? So Snack, you're saying Freddie's the reason why they lost this game tonight, you know? And you know what? Let's say it is. Let's say, guys, that tonight is completely Freddie's fault. There's nobody else to blame, okay? There's one game where that's been true. One game then, okay? And if there's only one game, do you really want to trade a guy for one game? One game, really? Do you really want to get rid of a guy because of one game? Isn't Freddie allowed to finally have one? You know what I mean? And if you said he's had one before, I challenge you on that because I really don't see it. You know what I mean? I really don't see him being the reason why the Leafs have lost any game before now. So even if he stunk the joint out tonight, right? Even if he was the absolute reason why they lost, is that enough? Is that enough to just peace out on a guy? Are we really that unfaithful? Are we really that disloyal? You know what I mean? The guy has saved us through so many altercations, so many crazy situations where he's found a way to get us a win, you know, in teams that have struggled defensively. Again, I can't speak for tonight, but, you know, from what I've seen so far, I don't see a reason to freak out on him, even if he was the absolute worst tonight. It's about time. It's about time he gets to have one, right? So, yeah, you could put all the blame on him. Like I said, if you want to, you saw the game more than I do. You probably know better than I do. So if you think he's the reason why they lost, you're probably right. But you know what? So what? You know, I don't know. I find it hard to just slap it on a guy and be like, that's it. We're done with you. You stunk once, you know? So Mr. Kev saying maybe he thought the jerseys are bad luck. Yeah, I saw that they were wearing the St. Patty's one. I hate that they do it for a whole week. It should be the last game before St. Patty's Day or on St. Patty's Day if they have a game that day. And that's it. This whole St. Patty's week thing, gotta go, man. Gotta go. All right? It just ruins it a little bit for me. I don't know. It's supposed to be special, right? We're always trying to stretch out our holidays. You know, there's people in my neighborhood still putting up their Christmas lights, still got them on every night. And if you're one of those people at home, hey, I'm not making fun of you, but really though, really, you know what I mean? It's March. It's March. Christmas is over, guys. I know it's COVID and we're trying to stay positive. There are other ways to stay positive, all right? And there's two people that really help me stay positive. Their names are Jack and Daniels, right? So, I mean... All right, you want to stay positive, there's other ways to do it, okay? Genzi, you're saying that just looked at Freddie's stats right now and he's currently the worst goalie on the Leafs. Well, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, because he's in there all the time. We haven't really had a tandem. We haven't really had another goalie that can step up and fill out games for him. Happened a little bit while he was injured. That was amazing. Look what happened to those goalies, right? Hutch, destroyed. He's done. He'll be lucky to get another game in the NHL straight up after his last game. He will be straight up lucky to play in the NHL again. And it might be tomorrow. It might be tomorrow. The Leafs got to find a win. So, I mean, you know, they're going to be mixing things up, or they should be at least trying to figure out a way to get something done. Also, that's why that's what you're saying, the most games, it'll be different. Sorry, I'm oh my goodness, this thing stopped scrolling on me, so I'm so far behind on the chat. Let's see if I can catch up here. Producer Aaron saying 2 tips and 1 screen. He didn't play well, but the goals weren't just his fault. Hey, see, now I trust my boy, Producer Aaron. He knows hockey the way I do. In fact, he probably knows it a bit better than I do. He's a good old D-man like me, you know what I mean? We're real smart guys. We make a good pair out there on the ice in Beer League, eh? You know what we do, all right? And yeah, 2 tips and 1 screen. Guys, until we address that, can we put it on Freddie? You know, can we really put it on Freddie? Cook says no. Because Cooks is there in agreement with Buford, a.k.a. Producer Aaron. You know what I mean? So, guys, again, you know, that's what I'm saying, okay? If the ship is sinking, if you have a ship and it's sinking, right? Bailing the water out doesn't help. It helps temporarily, right? So, if all these other problems are happening, right? And goaltending is one of them, all right? Let's say that is a problem, okay? You know, the water's flooding, man, and fixing goaltending is just bailing, right? Because then what? You put another goaltender in, right, that has to deal with the same garbage in front of them, And then they start letting in goals. I said it before, put Vasilevsky in tonight, okay? How many of those goals does Vasilevsky let in? Maybe 2 instead of 4, okay? Maybe we come away with a W. But on his team, in a night like tonight, like against a team like Calgary, right? Vass is going to let in like nothing, or maybe 1. And why? Because the team in front of him is playing solid. Tampa's on fire. Florida's on fire, right? Down in the East Division there, whatever it is, right? So let's be real here, okay? If you don't fix the problems in front of the goaltending, you're just bailing yourself out temporarily when you replace a goalie. Okay, you got to fix the structural errors. You got to fix the positional errors. And I don't know if they're doing that. From what I saw, the little bits I saw that weren't scoring, it didn't look like they were doing too much of anything other than just trying to score goals, which is great. You need to score goals. But you got to stop goals too. It goes both ways, right? So I don't know, guys. I don't know, right? But that's what you're saying. Yeah, people talk like he does absolutely nothing. Like, I don't know. I saw him make a beauty save, actually. Who saw that one-timer save from Freddie? Oh, I guess it hit the post, didn't it? It hit the post. But he stretched across. He was there for it. You know? Trubeleafer, let's get the Halloween party started. Why? What? Oh, because I like holidays for so long that, like, if everyone's stretching out Christmas and stuff, I should stretch out Halloween. Hey, trust me, that would be the one I stretch out, right? I love Halloween. That's my favorite. Davis, you're saying, mark your words. If Campbell gets a chance and gets hot, no more Freddie. You know what? You're probably right about that. But what are the odds he's going to get hot, though? Right? How many games has he played in the NHL? Isn't it like 20? 50? 50 games maybe in the NHL? And that's over the course of like 4 or 5 seasons? 50 games? 60 games maybe? What's he at? You know? Freddie's been in it. All right? So that's a tough thing to just throw yourself into if you've... Like, think about it. Campbell's not some rookie. Campbell's not some rookie goalie that's only played a couple of games because, like, he's new to the scene. Campbell's been around. He's been around. Why hasn't he been a starter before now? On any team. Has there ever been a team where Jack Campbell's been a starting goalie in the NHL? Right? I don't know, but I bet not. I bet you he has not. I think, Cooks, you were telling me before he was in LA and never got the starting gig there. And you could say, oh, because they had Quick or whatever else like that. But that's the point, though. No other team traded for him. No other team saw Jack Campbell and said, you know what? I know he's a backup there, but man, if we get him on our team, he could be a real starter. Think about that, guys. Think about that. He's been in the league for years. Never been a starter. Why? Right? He didn't get pulled because Campbell's going to start tomorrow and didn't want to throw him in there when the game's close. Yeah, you know what I mean? And you know what? When a game's close, I don't care how bad your goalie is being for that game. If the game is still close, within a goal, within maybe 2 goals, I feel like you deserve, like the goalie deserves a chance to prove himself, right? The goalie deserves a chance to get out there and try and show that he knows what's going on, okay? He's got to prove himself that he can get back into the game and deserves to fight back for that win. I hate seeing a goalie get pulled when there's within one goal. I've seen times, okay, straight up in the past, right, where, you know, the Leafs let in 5 goals, so they pull their goalie, right? But like say the Rangers or whoever also let in 5 goals, and they didn't pull their goalie. Like in the same game. You know what I mean? The Rangers gave their goalie a chance to fight for that win because it's a tie game. But for some reason in Toronto, they're like, oh, 5 goals. Jeez, gotta pull him. You know what I mean? So I mean that's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? You gotta be careful with these goalie psyches, man. They're fragile beings up here, okay? Like, and that's what makes them special. You gotta kind of be kind of nuts if you're in there for 100-mile-an-hour slap shots and stuff like that. You know what I mean? AM saying just that if we won this game with those chances we missed, it'd be a whole new chat. Amen to that, AM. All right? Like if the Leafs convert on all these chances that you guys are saying that they missed on, right? Are we even talking about Freddie? Does anybody even care if it's 7-3 or 7-4? You know, does anybody care if it's 9-4 Toronto, right? So think about that. Then Keefe really doesn't think Fred's all of the issue. Exactly. They didn't pull him. Because if they really needed to get the win, they would have pulled him, no matter who's supposed to be playing tomorrow, right? Because you could always call up a guy, right? And have him play tomorrow then, right? Davis, you're saying drafted in 11, like 11, right? So think about that. Guy's been in the league for 10 years. Jack Campbell, never been a starter. And you're all saying put him in net as the starter? Like, why? Right? Maybe keep on giving Campbell starts and make him have some starts in the playoffs. You know what I mean? But like, why? What makes you think that Campbell's going to be good? I don't know, right? Now, he might be, and maybe you've got some inside info that I don't know about. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm not calling you crazy for thinking it's going to change things. But really, like, what are we basing this on? That's all I want to know. All right? Nope, not even the franchise who bought him in LA or brought him in. It was LA. See, exactly, Cooks, right? You're the one that was teaching me all about Campbell, right? Never been a starter, not even in LA. Freddie didn't play well tonight, but it's not the game to start the trade Freddie petition. Listen, producer Aaron, man, I know, man, you've been busy with your own life too, right? You and I haven't really been able to sync up a lot for all this stuff, but ever since we started this season doing these puck talks, it's been trade Freddie from somebody. Every time the Leafs pick up an L, it's trade Freddie. That's what somebody always wants to say. So, and that's what makes it harder for me to listen to you. You know what I mean? For those of you who are saying it right now, right? Some of you are saying it right now for the first time, right? And all the respect to you, you know what I mean? You haven't said it before now you're starting to change your mind. That's fine. You can change your mind. I might change my mind if this keeps up. Who knows, right? Because we got to make the playoffs, man. We got to make the playoffs. And if this keeps up, it ain't going to be too pretty, right? So straight up, like, but some of you have been saying it since game one. And I'm just like, it's so hard for me to believe that you know what you're talking about when every time the Leafs lose for the past 4 years, trade Freddie. Man, for who? Who are we getting? Who's available? You know? Like, that's the other flip side to it. Who's out there in the NHL that's available right now? I don't even know. But I bet you it's not a lot of people. Because you think if Dubas could have traded Freddie by now for someone better, you think he wouldn't have? Really? Like, you know what I mean? They're not loyal. They want to win a cup too, right? All right, peace out, AM. Peace out. Cooks, you're saying they never coached him to be a starter, even when Quick was taking same butt kicking that Freddie is. yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I question a guy's history when he's been in the league for 10 years and never been a starter. Like, I don't know. I'm not saying you want Freddie traded, but you want Campbell to get a chance. And again, Thievis, right? So I'm a little bit behind here, but Thievis, I want you to say, or whoever, just tell me why Campbell looks like he's got the goods. What makes you think that he's got the goods? Because I don't know. I have barely seen the guy play, right? He was probably last a starter in juniors because he was first-round draft pick. There you go, Thievis. So first-round draft pick, Jack Campbell. First-round draft pick. And he's never been a starter in the NHL. Bro. That's a dishwasher, by the way. I'm in the kitchen. I told you guys, right? Snack, you're saying Campbell's been better than Freddie while he's been playing in Toronto since last season. In how many games, though? Right? In how many games? You think he should get more starts? You know, and maybe that ratio, that winning ratio, keeps up if he gets more games. You totally have the potential to be right, dude. Right? At this point, with what I'm seeing, with the scores that are happening, with the way the standings are going, okay, at this point, I'm not willing to say definitely that Freddie's not to blame. I'm not willing to say definitely anymore that Freddie can find a way back into it. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I will say, I'm not giving up on the dude yet, and I think it's bad business too at this point. I just think it's bad business. What kind of message does that send to your goaltenders when, like, for the first time all season, your goalie's starting to struggle, even though you've struggled in front of him for the past 20 games or 15 games, right? How long has it been since I've been able to come on here and say they played a great defensive game? Think about that. Because you know I did. I was coming on here saying that they played amazing defense. This is a new team. I can't believe what I'm watching, right? I'm nervous because I've never seen them play like this before. I said all that stuff to you guys, right? How long has it been since I've been able to come on here and say that? You know? So I really don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna change by putting Campbell in net, you know, and I think it's bad business at this point to just abandon a guy because you can't put a decent team in front of him. You know? I don't know. But sometimes you have to, okay? So the reason, I think Cooks and I were talking about this, the only reasons that I could think of that you would want to trade Freddie, like legitimately could trade him tomorrow, that I would personally trade him tomorrow if one of these two things happens, right? One, I get made an offer you can't refuse. I mean, the exaggeration would be, hey, this is Edmonton here. We want to trade you McDavid for your Freddie Anderson, right? I mean, who's going to say no, right? You make the cap space work, however you got to make it, you take that deal. So if there's a deal that's too good to be true, then you take it. You trade Freddie right now, okay? And the only other thing I could think of that you would want to trade Freddie for, right, is if somehow you truly believe that the Leafs drop their defense in front of them. They get too comfortable. They get too lazy. I don't know what it is, but sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes people play harder in front of this goalie instead of that goalie because maybe they don't trust him. Maybe they're worried he's going to let in goals. So they play different to help the guy out. They support him. There's a relationship there, right? And if for whatever reason, if the players are all starting to turn their back on Freddie, or Freddie's starting to turn his back on the players, if there's not that good partnership there, then you got to move him because it's easier to move him than to move half your team, right? So, to be fair, like I'm saying, there are reasons to trade Freddie right now, right? But I'm not sure it's one of those two things yet. Because do the Leafs suck in front of Freddie, or do the Leafs just suck right now? Right? If they just suck right now, if they're just not playing to their full potential, slap any goalie you want in there, and it's still going to keep happening. It's not going to change anything. If you think I'm making it up, guys, look through the Leafs' history. How many goalies have we burned through? Right? In the past, I don't know, decade, 15 years. How many goalies have we burned through that were supposed to be starting goalies that eventually started to suck, or we felt like they sucked, so we brought in another goalie to be like a tandem, but that created a controversy, and then before you know it, both goalies suck, and now we're trying to get rid of both of them to find somebody else new. Like, it has happened about a dozen times. Okay? Let's name them. Okay? So, you know, we've got Bernier, burned out. Toskala, burned out. Crawford, burned out. Reimer, burned out. Who else we got? You know what I mean? Like, the list goes on. There's been so many, right? I didn't prepare a speech for this, so I only have the 4. But there's been a whole bunch, guys. And if you look through the research, just look how many goalies we've had in the past 15 years. It's unreal. And I think it's because we're too quick to get rid of them. I think it's because we're too quick to actually, like, we need to develop a team system in front of the goaltenders that's going to actually protect them and actually be supportive of them, just like on other teams. Other teams do it all the time. You know, so why can't we? Yeah, so you're saying that if Campbell's healthy, he might play about a third of the games. That would be good. And I'd be fine with that. It doesn't have to be like a rarity that he gets to play. Maybe he plays a bit more. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But I still think that for now, if Freddie's not going to be your number one guy, right, then trade him right now. Right? If you're going to go with Campbell instead of Freddie now for the next, I would say, even if you went for the next 5 games in a row where you're like, you know what, we want Campbell to be the starter, then you better trade Freddie. Trade him. Don't waste his time. Don't have him sitting on the bench. That is not going to help a starting goalie like that. That doesn't help here. You know what I mean? And like a goalie more than any other position, guys, a goalie is practically going to war every time they step on the ice. That's what it feels like. If you've ever played in net, you know what I'm talking about, okay? It's like you're going to war. You're the most strapped up, okay? You're literally taking shots to the head, to the gut, to the arm. Like, you know what I mean? You're getting shot at for the entire game, okay? So up here, you need to feel like a warrior. You need to feel like you can go out there and just crush it. And if that starts to slip up here, I mean, good luck. You ain't coming out ahead. You know what I mean? So, really, I hope they figure out a way to snap him out of it. But like, if you're going to sit him on the bench now for 10 games because you just want to show him what's up, trade him. Don't waste his time. Okay? Because all you're doing is hurting the guy. And then he really won't be any good. And then what? You know? Snack, you're saying you think we should take Bogosian out for somebody else. Liljegren has had a great season in the minors. Cool. I do like that Liljegren guy. I would like to see a bit more of him. Bogosian, I don't know what to say about this dude. At times he looks like a total all-star defenseman, and at other times I'm like, dude, you're a pylon out there. I don't get it. I don't get how you do a 180 that fast, right? It's pretty brutal. So I hope he can snap out of it too, man. There's a lot of mental games going on right now, right? Precious seasons. Freddie had to play 7 games if we wanted to win the playoffs. Now with Campbell, he only has to play 50 or 55. Cool. That'd be, well, Thievis, you're saying Garrett Sparks. There's another one we burned through, right? Bernier, Garrett. Gustafsson. Yeah, Gustafsson. There's another one. Oh, yeah, Gustafsson. Sure. We thought he was going to be the number one guy, right? Absolutely. And then what happened? You know? And then the guys that actually became, think about it, there's goalies that became legendary starters, and they were a Toronto Maple Leaf, or could have been a Toronto Maple Leaf at least. Tuukka Rask is one, traded away, right? Drafted by the Leafs, I think, and then traded away before he even played a single game, right? The Leafs traded away the pick that would have gotten them Roberto Luongo. They traded away that pick. You know what I mean? There's tons of guys that could have been amazing goalies for the Leafs that we just missed out on, and then the ones we get, we burn through so fast. Yeah, Aaron, you're saying those guys weren't burnt out; they were never lit in the first place. Well, you know, to be fair, I mean, when I was saying burnt through, I meant like we just kind of like we their careers were very short here. Like they were praised to be a starter, and then they just and then gone, torched and gone. I'm not saying that they had skill and then lost it. You're right. That definitely didn't happen. They were never meant to be starters in the first place. None of those goaltenders had what it took to be a starter, and yet we kept treating them like it. They could never, you know, they weren't supported. They were never given a chance, you know. They just got tossed to the wolves because they're like, well, we can't find anybody else here. You get out there, and the team was garbage in front of them for an entire decade. What are you saying here? Who's buying a flat cap? It's been announced that the cap won't be raised for a minimum 5 years. So budgeting is going to be tough, guys. Budgeting is going to be tough, and like, you know, it's going to be all about making your draft picks count. Drafting is more crucial now than it has ever been. Try and get the players on the cheap for the first 3 years of their lives in the NHL, and then ship them off, right? Because you don't got money for them. Okay, this is a few. Getting a little sloppy with it. You know, it's Friday. We're getting a little sloppy on the Fridays. Where are we saying? You think Bernier did and is playing great in Detroit? Yo, Snack. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. Anytime I see Bernier, he is playing like garbage. Like garbage. Even in Detroit. You know? I don't see it. I've never seen it with that guy. I thought he was the biggest phony of all time. I shouldn't say phony because phony implies that he's claiming to be the best, like claiming to be really good, and then it turns out he's not. So I shouldn't say phony. I take that back. But the biggest misleading information on a goaltender I've ever seen. Bernier's got to be one of the worst in terms of like what everybody said he was to what he ended up being, you know? And to be honest, I mean, it's not that hard to look good in Detroit, right? Show up, strap on your skates, make sure your knot doesn't come loose on the laces. And you're already looking better than half the team, right? I guess I shouldn't be saying that right now with how the Leafs are playing, but hey, man, it's a disaster in Detroit and it has been for a little while, and that's the hockey gods paying them back for having like 25 consecutive years in the playoffs and having like 3 Stanley Cups in 7 years or whatever it was, or 8 years. Or they had a dynasty going, man. So, you know, you were up here for a while. The hockey gods are humbling you now, right? And that's what's happening in Detroit. So, not to mention Bernier, guys. He thought Nelson Mandela was a former hockey player. Really? Come on, man. That's going to be one of the dumbest clips I've ever seen. That's going to be one of the dumbest clips I've ever seen. Getting asked about Nelson Mandela, and instead of just saying like, you know what, I don't even know about the guy, but I hear a lot of good things, and I was just kind of curious, so I'm here and I want to learn. I want to learn about the guy's legacy. Instead, he fakes it, acts like he was a former athlete. You know, we all grew up watching the guy. You know, he's somebody you want to be like and play like and everything like that. Oh my God, did he embarrass himself? That was the dumbest interview I think I've ever seen. One of the worst. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bernier. You know, you could say, wait, you're saying that's Bernier's save percentage right there? Right? 918, 908 on the last year, right? And one of the worst teams. Think about it, though. If you're getting 50 shots, like how many shots does he face a game? I'm just using it as an example, right? But if you're letting 4 goals in every night, right? Because you're just due for 4 goals, right? But you're on a team that gives up 30 shots, or you're on a team that gives up 50 shots, you're still letting in the same 4 goals. It's just it looks better on the team when you're getting 50 shots against you. You know? Still due for the same 4 crappy goals. And keep in mind, Bernier is responsible for one of the worst goals against Toronto in all of history. When you see like the top 10 like worst goals of all time in the NHL, okay, like 3 of them are Leafs goals. And one of them is Bernier. I think Bernier is actually 2. I swear, if you looked at like TSN's, the last time they did like a top 10 worst goals, one is Toskala, right? The Islanders dumped it down from behind their own net practically and scored from that far back. So that's Toskala. There you go, right? Bernier is one where like, what did he do again? He like turned his back to it or something that bounced off his leg and in, like it from a ridiculously bad angle or something. I don't know. There's a Bernier one for sure, and I'm pretty sure he has a second one too, where he like tried to shoot it or something like that. I don't remember. But man, it's one of those things where like, look, sometimes stats tell the picture, when you don't see it. And sometimes the picture tells you that the stats are wrong. And I don't care what anybody says about stats for Bernier. Forget it. I don't trust that guy at all. Maybe it's the city. He didn't like the pressure of being in Toronto. Some people can't handle it. So, but yeah, I mean, that's where I am, right? And yeah, you're comparing him to Howard, who did a lot worse, and Grease, who did a lot worse. Hey, you know what? Fair enough. And you know what? I haven't been watching really Bernier in the past couple of years. Maybe he's figured out a way to make it work for himself. I don't know. But put him in Toronto, and I guarantee you don't see those same numbers. I promise you. You put him in Toronto tomorrow and get him to start, he does not put up a 918. He does not put up a 908, whatever like that. He puts up a 4. As in 4 goals against. Guaranteed. Which, I mean, Freddie just let in 4 goals again, too. So, guys, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm running out of ways to be positive about this, other than the fact that, you know, when you're a fan, okay, let's talk about this real quick, and then I got to go, because I got more moving to do, okay? When you're a fan, I don't care if they've lost every game in the season, okay? I'm still going to say, yeah, but they can come back, right? To anyone trying to chirp me, yeah, they'll come back. Don't worry about it, okay? Because that's the point, guys. That's the point. All right? If you got a choice at the beginning of the year of saying, you know what, this year the Leafs are going to win the Cup, or being like, you know what, this year the Leafs are going to miss the playoffs, okay? Now, the Leafs fan that says they might miss the playoffs could very well be right, okay? But if you're right about that, how good do you feel? Really? Oh, wow, I'm so awesome. I predicted my team was going to suck, and boy, did they. Ha, 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 ha. I told you. You know what that is, guys? That's hedging your bets. Right? That is a Leafs fan who doesn't want to be embarrassed at the end of the year if they don't make the playoffs. That's a Leafs fan who doesn't want to be embarrassed at the end of the year if it turns out they didn't live up to the expectations that literally the entire league has for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Okay? It's not even just us. The Leafs have a reputation in the league, right, going that they are an up-and-coming team, that they are a team to watch out for. That still exists. Okay? It's just that, you know, if they don't live up to it, you get to sit there and go, I'm the one that said they would suck. You all thought they were going to be good, but I'm just being real with you. I'm just being a realist. Who says you have to be real in sports anyways? You're a fan, dude. You're not an analyst. You know what I mean? So, hey, if you're one of the people right now predicting bad things for the Leafs for the rest of the year, that they're going to miss the playoffs or that they're going to lose in the first round, hey, you know what? If you end up being right, congratulations. Okay? But I would much rather be wrong about an awesome thing than being right by an absolute crap thing, okay? That's what I would rather be, okay? Because on the off chance that I get to be right about a positive thing, that's so much cooler than being right about something that's awful. You know what I mean? I just don't see the fun in it. I don't get what fun it is to sit here and be like, oh, they're done, they're awful, they're just never coming back or whatever like that. You do you, Boogaloo, all right? But I'm just telling you, me personally, that just seems like a lame way to enjoy sports, all right? It's about talking big. It's about being in the face of your opponents. It's about trashing the other fans, okay? And when they trash you back, you all laugh about it and grab a beer together. That's what sports is to me, man, okay? So I don't care what anybody's going to say to me about my Leafs in the next little bit, okay? I'm going to say the same crap back to them about their stupid teams, too. And you know what? At the end of it, me and those fans, we're going to have a nice laugh. But you know who's not going to have a nice laugh? The Leafs fan over here going, they're the worst, I hate them, they're always disappointing me. Oh my goodness, the amount of Leafs fans that sound like they've, that the Leafs are some sort of ex-lover that's burned them. You know what I mean? And they're like, I don't trust them, I'll never trust them, they're always letting me down. Look, see, even the camera's like, screw you guys. I don't know if you saw that on my end. I got a little staticky going on there. Even the camera's like, yeah, you go, trubeleafer, all right? You tell him. All right, so, Kev, thanks for coming out. I got to go too, guys. Honestly, I got so much to do. And Cooks, yeah, we're not Buffalo. Like, let's relax here. You know what I mean? So, yeah, like, stop treating the Leafs like a bitter ex-lover, okay? Stop it. Stop it, okay? They don't disappoint you. They show up and play a game, okay? And they're going to win some. They're going to lose some. They're going to have horrible seasons. They're going to have some good seasons, okay? When you buy a ticket or you buy the merchandise, you are not guaranteeing yourself a win. Being a Leafs fan doesn't mean that they owe you anything. They owe you nada. Because believe me, before they're concerned about getting you a cup, right, camera? Right, camera? Before getting you a cup, they're more concerned about getting themselves a cup. They want a cup so much more than any Leafs fan does. And why? Because they're professional athletes that actually have a chance at getting one. Unlike us losers sitting on a couch. Okay, myself included there. Myself included. They want a cup so much more than I do that me saying that like they're letting me down, come on. They're letting themselves down way worse than you or I, right? So let's just relax for a second here, okay? Just be a good sports team, man. You want to talk about mentality and having swagger and being a threat there on the ice? How can we as a fan base expect a team to behave in a way that we can't do ourselves? Maybe if we had the swagger, and maybe if we talked the talk, and maybe if we, were super confident and couldn't be shaken, maybe the Leafs would be too, because we would have a culture. There's a hockey culture that I want, right? So anyways, thanks for the luck with the move. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I got to get back to it. And I really appreciate you guys all coming out as always. It's really awesome. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. I don't know how good the setup's going to be, but it'll certainly be an adventure. You know that. I'm always trying and I'm always willing to make things happen if I can, okay? So love to all of you guys. Stay safe out there, okay? And we'll get back at it again tomorrow when they face the Flames again, right? And it's going to be an intense game because like I said, if they don't finish strong in this last one, they got to sit there for 4 days stewing about how they're on this horrible losing streak. You don't want that, guys. You don't want that, okay? Because that's like the equivalent to going downstairs on Christmas morning, opening up a present, finding out it's not the toy you wanted. No, it's a living monkey, and the thing is screaming at you, and before you know it, it's just sitting there trying to fight you with a knife, and you don't even know what's going on, so then you have to take a baseball bat to it and get into a whole huge... I swear this new camera really shows how bad my skin is. Ugh. Anyways, guys, make sure you subscribe, okay? This thing is growing bigger and bigger, and you won't want to miss the chaos that the true believer will find himself in. I'm the most unique NHL 21 channel on YouTube. I dare you to prove me otherwise. Bye!